Welcome to the Direct Line, the official podcast for OADSP. We're excited to have you here with us today, and if you have comments, suggestions, or if you want to join us in studio as a guest, reach out to me at podcast@oadsp.org. I'm David Rustio, and today I am speaking with Lola. Lola, tell us about yourself.
My name is Lola. I've been in the DSP field for about 20 years. I'm currently a registered nurse, started off as DSP. I currently work for RAM as a registered nurse. However, that's just one of many fields that I dabble in.
Okay.
Probably my favorite part about being in the DSP field, I mean, aside from the clients, obviously, we love what we do. However, the flexibility, and that kind of just leads me into the fact that I feel that in this day and age, more than ever, people are valuing time more than money or monetary values.
I agree.
So that's definitely one of the biggest things that I love about this field is it's very flexible, and there's like, it's not like it's one size fits all to me for me.
It's not 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
No, correct. So it works. Like I said, the flexibility is the biggest thing. It can work for anybody.
So you started as a DSP. Is that where you kind of fell in love with what we do?
Yes, absolutely. I started as the DSP, fell in love with it, and I just decided that from there I wanted to grow and continue to do the DSP, but on a larger scale, which is what led me into the nursing.
Okay. And what is your role? You're a nurse for an organization called RAM.
Yes.
So what is your role as a nurse there? What do you do? What does the nurse do?
So there are a few different options with the field working with developmentally disabled. My specific role is delegated nursing.
Okay.
So a lot of people think when they hear that I am a quote unquote nurse for RAM that, oh, well, we just call you for everything, right? So no, not with RAM. So with RAM, this particular company is not all companies are required to have a 24-hour nurse.
Right.
So that is the nice thing, once again, is the flexibility. So I also, in addition to many other things, I do travel nursing.
Okay.
So I tell people, hey, I might be out in LA. So yeah, I'm not the 24-hour nurse. However, what some of the things that I do is teaching classes and overseeing paperwork.
Okay.
And helping with medication administration, helping put out fires if I am local.
Sure.
So I'm not opposed to being called in or on call. If I am local, I'm more than happy to help.
Sure.
However, it's just not one of the primary obligations.
Sure. And I think in this field, the nurses that organizations hire, they're not on-call nurses that are going, door-to-door, face-to-face with people every single day. You're training, and you're making sure that DSPs know what they are doing and what they should do, and you are a resource when needed.
Yes.
In other ways. But, so you can't look at this strange mole I have. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Because you're not a private nurse for...
Correct. Yes. I'm not Ram's private nurse. However, again, sometimes I kind of feel like.
You kind of feel like.
But and I'm like I said, I'm happy to help when I can.
Right.
But
so, what is your favorite part of that career path you've chosen?
I would say the ability. Again, it's not just the flexibility with the hours. It is also the flexibility with growth.
Okay.
So if you should choose to stay at an entry level, then it's different things work for different people.
Right.
So if you want to stay at entry level and you're content with that and that works for you, or some people are retired and they're using it as more of just a hobby,
Right.
then that is an option. But also, if you choose to grow and go all the way up to the top, and I mean, there's also that option as well. So there's flexibility with the hours, but there's also flexibility in the other areas as far as the job description as well.
And what kind of interaction do you have with those that we serve? And
So I do still dabble with the DSP because I do love it and I do enjoy it, and I enjoy the hands-on with the individuals.
Right.
So as far as from a nursing perspective, a lot of it is assessments and just.
I think you did one right before you came in here, didn't
I
you?
did, yeah, and it was literally just going down a checklist.
Okay.
It took maybe all of 5 minutes to ask the questions.
Sure.
So there's not a whole lot of hands-on in that aspect. But as from a DSP level, it is similar in a lot of ways to STNA work.
Okay. All right.
And some people hear that and they shy away from that. They cringe. But me, myself, of course, it puts you in that, personal level, that one-on-one with the relationship with the individual. And that is where I feel like the biggest difference is made.
Okay.
That one-on-one.
So do you have any stories working with a DSP or with an individual that might be fun for our listeners?
Well, I had one incident recently where I was at an individual's house and he thought that I was gone because it was time for me to leave. But I was like, I stuck around. I was in a different room. I was just tying up loose ends, paperwork. And I overheard him chuckle to himself and he goes, I really like her. And that just was, it was so rewarding to hear that because, you don't always get to see the other end.
Sure.
So, so that was kind of nice. It was just nice to everybody. I mean, whether people want to admit it or not, everybody wants to be liked.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, I'm kind of in the office and I can tell you from folks that work in the office, when an individual comes in, the whole mood of the building changes.
Yeah.
Even if it's somebody that's challenging, and most of the time it's not, but even if it's somebody that's challenging, everybody's demeanor changes, the mood changes. People come out of their office. It's like having a puppy in the building.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, that might not be good, but but yes, it's that nice.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. That energy.
Right, and it helps keep us grounded for what we're doing.
Yeah.
Why are we here every day?
Correct.
Just doing numbers and, or podcasts, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's always nice. And I think that's a perfect example of how I felt when I overheard that individual say that, because it takes you back to that why.
Right.
Especially when you get so used to crunching numbers and doing the paperwork. And
sure.
Sometimes we get so focused on that, it's nice to have that reminder.
Right. Now, this podcast is for the audience is mostly DSPs. We're with OADSP.
Yeah.
What might you say to DSPs? You're a nurse, and you get to talk to DSPs in the organization. But what message might you give to DSPs listening?
I would definitely say. If you are going to go into working with people, please do it for the right reasons.
Sure. Not for the money?
Not for the money. I mean, all of the other things are just an added bonus. The individuals are why we do this. You've got to have it in your heart to do this.
Right.
The money, the flexibility, anything else is just an added bonus.
A perk.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you sharing your perspective, and it's nice that you've worked with individuals as a DSP and as a nurse. It gives a whole new kind of look to what we do. So thank you very much for being here today.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, and join us next time on The Direct Line.